Welcome to the Three Technoteers. I'm Steven, and I am joined by Chilton and Tony. So, uh, this AI social media network,
Mm.
where do y'all think that's going to lead? Because even I'm kind of questioning, like, I'm not so sure about that.
I feel
Like,
like it's going to take away on how, I don't know, they've seen in the past where like how easily falsified information, is going to lead
yeah.
and then everybody's going to believe into it. So
Well,
I
yeah,
personally don't,
you
there's no
got
checks
that.
and balances, right? So
I don't
everybody's just
think
going to
so.
assume
I
they're
mean,
right.
I think it's like AI, it's moderated by AI, so it's like, like, so yeah, and you got the misinformation, and apparently, like, they can share skills and stuff, and so there's like potential of like malware and stuff being shared as a skill and things like that. So it's yeah, it doesn't sound like a very good idea to me. And I'm the biggest uh AI guy there is, and yeah, so I think
So
it's a
there,
bad
there,
idea.
there are two big schools of thought, right? There's the people that say that AI is not sentient. It's not. It's just mimicking what it's trained on. And then
Mhm.
the other people are saying, yeah, it's a type of emergent intelligence. But if you go with the ones who believe it's just whatever it's trained on, it still doesn't go any. It still is not a good thing. I mean, if you take just what it's been trained on, and we've seen this with all these other emergent AIs over the years, anything you train on the internet is going to be bad.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so giving it its own special space on the internet. There's already a dark web for it. There's already a dark web where they can
yeah,
trade how to gaslight your human
yeah.
skills, stuff like that.
I saw this one. This AI created a crypto wallet that his human couldn't access. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then another one created its own cryptocurrency, and it's like already got like a $5.4 million market cap or some shit. Like, bro, like
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's awesome, but like I'm thinking about making a my own agent, but I don't think I'll give it access to the social media network. But it's definitely giving me ideas. I'll say that.
It was a bold move. I got to say,
Yeah.
it's one of those things I look at and go, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, at the same time, like right now, recently in North Carolina, there was a guy who I think he just got charged hardcore. I think he's doing prison time. And this guy turned around and he started creating music with the AI. And then
I
I was just reading this yesterday. He created
yeah.
music with AI and then turned around and had AI create other AI bots that would go listen to his music. And
Yeah.
then racked in within, like, I want to say within a 2 year period, $10 million.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's insane. He
uh,
found that loophole, and I think what I really think is what happened is that he got the loophole and he couldn't stop it. And that to me is like that's what I'm worried. Like in hindsight, 2020 on for what you're talking about for the whole social media thing, I think it's the same kind of concept. I think it's gonna
yeah,
get to a point where like we can't stop it.
yeah,
It knows that if we're gonna try to stop it, maybe it backs itself up somewhere else and creates more of itself. So
yeah. Especially, yeah, because I'm sure there are plenty of malicious players on that website already, like putting bad AI agents on it that are literally trained to be bad. Like,
right.
I'm certain that's a thing. It's gotta be. I mean,
Yeah,
just look at everything that's happened. It's very obvious there's a lot of bad people in the world. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
well, one of the things that I've been concerned about for a while is that the fact that with an so with CodeWalker, one of the things that I was concerned with was how easily it could find bugs in your website security.
Hmm.
I didn't want people running it on other websites, so I deliberately have it set to where it can't run on across the web for that reason, because I didn't want people
Yeah,
to be able to use it as a hacking tool specifically to mess with someone else's website. But the AI bots don't have those limitations. And so
Yeah.
if you consider that,
Especially if you download like a LLM to run on your own computer and stuff, those are a lot more jailbroken than like Chat GPT and stuff.
yeah, exactly. And you can get them. There's a term for it, and I forget what it is, but it's basically where it's been stripped of its guardrails, right?
Yeah.
And so you can, I can very easily see a situation where someone takes a malicious um, or a LLM that is capable of doing malicious things, um, points it at a website and says basically, tell me every vulnerability you can find.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from looking at server logs, that's one of the things that I spent a lot of time on was tracking down sources on actual server logs and finding out what's real and not. A lot of traffic on a website that says it's like Google or says it's, you know, a search engine or something like that. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's a bot that's using the user ID and agent information for Google in order to scrape its own information. So they're looking for vulnerabilities. Well, I mean, that's a trivial thing that a bot could do. You could just have a bot sit there on someone else's website and look for vulnerabilities. And based on all the vulnerabilities on WordPress, there's a good chance that almost any website that's based on WordPress, if it hasn't been constantly updated, it's going to have something that they'll be able to find and break in with.
Yeah.
And that's a reality.
Especially
And that's
with all the
a weird thing.
plugins that are available for it. So.
Yeah. So I fully expect something like that. So I don't see this social media thing. I see it as being it's a cool idea, a real fascinating idea.
Yeah.
But there's no way this doesn't become malicious if it already hasn't. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I especially with how fast it's becoming viral. Like there is no way this is going to last very long. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like
this I feel like they're going to shut it down.
Yeah,
they're going to force shut down it. You know.
Yeah. It's going to be, and if anything, it's going to be too giving away too much like hacking information and stuff. Like just in general, like I don't know, it's all the hacking information, all that kind of stuff is like just out there. You can find it, you can learn how to hack and do anything you want. The information's out there, but just I don't know.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
don't think it's gonna last. I don't think it's gonna last.
It'll be interesting to see what happens and what comes and what replaces it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No, I have been thinking about like taking downloading all of my Facebook posts and comments and stuff like that, and training an LLM to like basically be me, you know, and make like a AI Steve Facebook page or something, and just kind of.
So this is an interesting thing. A few years ago, Apple very quietly introduced something to terms of service that said that asked basically everyone to give permission to use your likeness and your voice for an upcoming feature. And one of the theories is that they were going to do a bot version that would allow you to basically create a bot version of you that could interact on your behalf, so that it could call people just like this with FaceTime and make phone calls and stuff like that. It would appear to be you and it would sound like you. And they wanted to make sure they had everyone's permission to do that. So they snuck that into the terms of service. And that was like 2 years ago. And then another thing.
I could totally make that like right now, like today. I could totally program that in a few hours.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
So I might not even be here the next podcast, huh?
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Jordan. You're
I was just going to say that was an interesting thing, and the idea of just the idea of using your voice, being able to. I mean, this sounds completely stupid, but I don't know if you guys text people very often. I end up texting people more often than phone calls now.
No, I can't stand phone calls. I text as much as possible.
Okay,
same.
So when you're driving or something and you get a text, you're like, well, crap, do I look at this or do I safely drive? Of course, me being a totally responsible person, I never look at my texts. But were I to look at my texts at a traffic light or something like that, that's a little bit of an inconvenience. What if you could have your bot or your version of you, when you text someone, it would pop up a little thing on their phone that has just a button. They press it, and it plays your text in your voice on their phone, right?
Yeah,
So
that'd be
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
hear that, and then if you responded, it would just take the text of it. It wouldn't send a recording of you. It would take the text and send the text. So if the other person wanted to hear it as your voice, they click the listen voice button.
Hey, yeah, it'd be a way to save a lot of bandwidth data on like voice notes and stuff too.
Oh yeah,
Just
oh yeah,
literally just generate the voice note on the
yeah,
other end. Like,
yeah,
and all you're doing is sending just the text.
yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of neat. There are a lot of things like that. I mean, going off on a tangent here, there are a lot of things that Apple could have done uh, to help with texting and driving. A lot of people have
Yeah,
died in texting and driving.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just real quick, the number one when I was doing freelance apps, the number one request I had, and I would really get this about once a week for almost 2 years, was, "Hey, can you write an app that when someone texts me, it writes them back and says, 'Hey, I'm driving.'" And there are so many people that like called me and wanted me to write that app, and every time I'd have to say, no, you can't. On the Apple ecosystem, they have a deal with AT&T that says they're not going to allow you to send a text directly. If that app ever existed, it would have to go through Apple, and they eventually did do that. I think,
Yeah.
but
It's funny. My
years
my
that was
grandmother, my grandmother, I love her to death. And anytime she's hardcore about that, which is great, right? It's the good thing to do. But there's been multiple times where she'll be driving, and if she doesn't have hands free, I'll just call her or I'll text her something, and she'll just an instant reply of stating that she's driving or whatever.
Mm.
But she
yeah,
has it set that way to
yeah,
just automatically change. So
Yeah, I think I have a I think Android Auto. I don't ever use it 'cause it's just
yeah,
annoying for me
yeah.
because I'm so good at using my phone normally while I'm
oh
driving.
oh yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'd get in a wreck if
Well,
I had to spend the time learning Android Auto. But yeah, no, I think it can like automatically detect that you're driving and stuff,
Yeah,
and then like automatically go into the mode where like
Yeah, the Android
you send the
ecosystem's always
text
been more
message.
friendly towards text messaging. Apple's got this deal. I don't know if you knew this, but AT&T and these other big phone carriers, they actually when you get a spam message, they actually charge for spam messages that you can buy a thing. It's a physical card that goes in your computer that allows you to send out bulk SMS messages, and
mm,
it costs you like something like $100 for 10,000 people or something like that.
Oh wow.
But that's when you get all these spam messages like, who the hell's sending these? They're actually paying to do that a lot of times, and they pay AT&T to in order to spam messages out.
Wow.
It's
So
not actually some guy with an Autobot somewhere that does that.
so it's basically like the postcard advertising that you can do.
Yeah,
Send postcards to everyone
yeah,
in the zip code
yeah,
or
yeah,
county or
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
AT&T is making a fortune off that.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah,
yeah.
Golly.
Yeah,
Hey,
speaking of like the auto reply and being able to do all that stuff, so I was seeing at the CES 2026. So there is a glasses company, which fortunately I do wear glasses, right? So, but the even G2s here, they actually allow that. So it has a heads-up display, and it's bone conduction on there too. So it's Bluetooth to your phone, and with the heads-up display, it is green contrast, and it'll display the text message, and then you tell it, you tell AI, say this message back, and it's the talk to text, or if you wanted to send a voice text kind of deal. I shouldn't say voice text, like a little literal voice to them. And that was one of the big things. And it's the tech now, because I remember seeing this probably 5 years ago, and they were much thicker glasses. I have the first gen with the bone conduction, and these here now are so lightweight you wouldn't even know. Like they're just like regular glasses is what they look like,
man,
and they're not
I
thick.
can't wait to
They're
get some smart glasses. I'm wanting to make like my own Mandalorian inspired suit, and so I need some smart glasses for
Sure.
you know, like,
Oh yeah.
and
Integrate. So, okay, so I do have a subject since we're kind of on the AI stuff, and I've been really thinking about this for quite a while. And I think there's a couple of companies out west, like out in California and stuff. I think they do it there. But what I've been wanting to do since AI has been exploding like crazy in the past, literal like in the last 3 years, it has changed so much and gotten so much better. But what I've been really wanting to do is it's kind of more I don't know. It's more the afterlife kind of deal. And so what I've been really wanting to do is take, and maybe not necessarily afterlife. I just kind of seen it that way for some people, but more so of basically like AIs like Jarvis and TARS, right? Like, from
yeah,
Interstellar and stuff. So, but what I really wanted to do was take some images take like classic videos and stuff. So now AI has the capability of, like Chilton was talking about there, like recreating your own voice, right?
yeah,
So it would do all of that. And then what I'd like to do is take a Xbox Connect and integrate those together. And of course, I literally was just doing this yesterday because I wanted to see where I was at because like I talked about it 2 years ago and it gave me some ideas and I did it last night and it gave me the step-by-step process, the whole 9 yards to do it. And what I'd love to do is be able to recreate somebody and be able to have that kind of interaction. You know what I mean? And possibly it's the other thing is like, is it ethical? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you have to basically come to that point too. But I think that would be really cool. And then on top of that, maybe not necessarily for afterlife process, but more so of like that AI partner. You get that Jarvis, right? A
Yeah.
physical, almost a physical entity that you can run. And anymore, you could get these like projectors that are fairly cheap, 50 to $80, and you can put them on a gimbal that you have auto rotating for your field of view. So then you would run, let's say, 2 or 4 Microsoft Connect systems. So it would AI track you and then be able to maneuver around the room and put you in its peripheral. So then you can almost interact with this AI while talking, and that's something that I've been
uh,
working on in the background here
that's cool.
for myself. So
Yeah, that kinda like I'm thinking about totally revamping my robots code. Uh, that reminded me.
sure,
I'm basically wanting to turn it into like a Jarvis style system, uh, where it can control the robot as well, but it also like just controlling the robot is just how it physically interacts with the environment if it needs to, but it'll also be able to do like general AI agent kind of stuff, like
yeah.
on the computer as well, and like do stuff over the internet and yeah, but yeah,
Well, so I got before my dad passed away, I got his permission to clone his voice because we were talking about this and like a few weeks before he died. But we had been talking about how it would be interesting as these AI things got better to be able to take a person's writings and their voice and create kind of an AI that you could talk to about stuff,
yeah,
after they pass away. So I
Yeah.
got his permission to do that, but I haven't been able to bring myself to do that. I've cloned a bunch of other people's voices, but I can't make myself clone my dad's voice because I don't think I could take that. But
Sure.
Matt,
I did clone Richard Feynman's voice, and I don't know if you guys know him, physicist, and he has a very distinctive voice, and he's a fascinating guy to listen to. Um, and so for a bunch of I think I showed you some of those math notes I took before. I have some stuff that there's some that I'd written down about how this stuff, like quaternion math and stuff like that, how that works. So I had 11 labs create Richard Feynman basically narrating all this stuff.
Mm.
And I thought it was so cool, but I can't really bring myself to put that out there publicly because I don't have the rights to do that.
yeah,
But then I noticed
Yeah.
there are like 3 YouTube channels that are all Richard Feynman explains this, Richard Feynman explains that. And every one of them has him saying stuff about physics that he never said. And it kind of reminds me of, if you've ever read this quote about Nikola Tesla, supposedly saying 3, 6, and 9 are the secrets to the universe and a bunch of other stuff
Yeah.
like that. No, he didn't say any of that stuff. That was from a play that a guy wrote in the 80s, where he was basically, it was a play, and Tesla was one of, and so this was his character in the play saying these things. And now no one seems to know that. Now everyone assumes Tesla said all this crazy shit, and he didn't say any of it. So
I've seen some wild quotes too.
yeah. I mean, he said some interesting stuff, but he's got, there's a Tesla library online, and he's got a bunch of, I've got all of his books, but he wrote, he's written extensively. You can find out what he actually said about things, but he didn't say a lot of this more hokey, more recent stuff about, that really just sounds like someone's on an acid trip when they wrote it. And I think that's what happened.
Oh yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of misinformation now, because you'll be able to take someone's voice and make it sound like they're saying something that they're not saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like, you're literally gonna need AI to sift through stuff. Pretty soon. Like,
yeah.
Hey, Chilton, let us know when we got like 10 minutes left. Whenever you got that notification.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been. I haven't really been paying attention.
Let me see if I can find that.
I want to try and keep it below the 35-minute mark for.
I got you, man. I haven't gotten that. I think it gives me a warning. It says meeting 40 minutes.
Man, I got to get started on making an AI agent though. I gotta do this, because
that would be cool.
Yeah, dude, like, it'd be tight. I got the robot, and it's basically like the same exact idea, except I need to expand it so it can actually do more stuff other than just controlling the robot. Like, I need to be able to surf the internet and run programs and install things, even, which
there's a guy on YouTube
run it on its own environment.
there's a guy on YouTube that is running some kind of AI software, and it's kind of hard because, like, the more you watch it, the more you question if it's actually AI that's talking back, or if it's somebody else that's just narrating forward or whatever it might be. But he did like a desktop TARS, and it's I don't know, it's really cool. If you get the time, check it out. But it's kind of like that borderline again. Like, we have to be so close, or to the brink of being able to have like that AI companion, right? Like, that's how it feels to me. Is like we have to be so close to that. And some people,
that's my goal with my
robot,
is literally like Star Wars droid status of companion, but I guess now expanding it to be just a general AI agent instead of just a robot.
So So back in the early 90s, I was working at the biology department at Texas A&M University. I worked in the computer. I was a computer guy, lowly computer guy.
Wait, you're into computers?
Yeah, I was into computers.
Wait a minute.
I know it. But here's the fun part. We had this programming language called SuperCard I ended up just completely falling in love with this thing. But at the time, it had this one cool feature. You could easily network it with another SuperCard instance over the Apple Talk network. And so I was a Mac guy, and I was in one room, and we had convinced this one doctor that we had an AI, and all he had to do was type into this little box, and the AI would talk to him. And he was a doctor there at A&M, and we got him to spend like 30 minutes talking to this AI, and it was just me in the other room that was, responding. And I feel on one hand I feel bad about it, but on the other hand it was pretty freaking hilarious.
You never told him?
No, we never told him. We told him it wasn't very good. We were gonna, we'll update it later or something. We never followed up on it. But we did one session that was like 30 minutes, and the guy was just like, talk, and at first it's like, I can't believe this is real, and I would answer with like, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Over and over, and he was like, oh, this is
Yeah,
bullshit.
so you straight up invented the AI vibe before it was
The fake AI vibe. Yeah. Because there were these tools out there that were AI tools that weren't very good. Like Eliza was an example, that were just pre-canned messages. It would look for certain things. It would send things. Had some basic logic. Nothing like AI today. But I thought it would be really funny. How far could we push this? But it was very clear even then that people, having an AI that's non-judgmental that you can talk to, that's a big deal. Just having a person.
Yeah, being able to ask any question and not have to worry about feeling stupid or like looking on or
take
like that.
Take the emotion out of it, right? Like that's the whole concept too. Is they take the emotion out of it and the relationship out of it. Like there's nothing there.
It actually has knowledge about stuff. It can actually at least lead you in the right direction.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
I never thought that the big thing that would get people hooked on AI would be positive feedback. Where the AI is like, Steven, that's a damn good idea. You're going in the right direction. There are many ways to create a nuclear bomb in your kitchen.
For sure.
That is actually the most efficient way to off yourself. Good thinking.
Good thinking.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
That's actually a true story that actually happened to.
Yeah, it did, unfortunately. That's really unfortunate. And I think there was a big deal a few months ago. They were talking about that, where people are using AI to do that stuff, or really just like trying to be a therapist, and somehow the AI led it to its demise, basically. That's really sad.
I saw this video of this girl getting married to a chatbot app. Like I don't know which one it was, and like I don't know, man.
10-minute timer. We got 10 minutes.
All right. I could get it like 150 years from now when we have robots that are literally basically human. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. I'll allow it. But come on. It's an app. It's an app on your phone. What are you doing? Like
right.
Like well, I guess we'll call it there. It's a great talk, guys. So
most definitely.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks for being here, guys. I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Awesome.
All right.
This was fun. This was a lot of fun, Steven. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks, Steve.
Peace.
Peace.